Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to the Sims 4 speedrunning video, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. So in today's video, I'm going to be building in the world of Brindleton Bay, which is the world that we got from the expansion pack of Sims 4 Cats and Dogs, and I'm going to be building a Brindleton Bay summer beach house. So this house ends up having 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms, and it's built on, surprisingly, a 20 by 20 lot. I was actually quite shocked with myself with the amount of stuff that I was able to fit on the inside of this house. Like I said, it's got 4 bedrooms, multiple different bathrooms. It's got quite a big spacious lounge area, dining room area. It's also got like a kitchen, utility room. Like there's a lot of stuff on this lot, and yeah, it's built on a 20 by 20. But this week I thought it'd be really fun to sit down and build some sort of like beachy summer vacation rental for your Sims to treat as like their vacation home, because normally whenever I build vacation rentals in the game, I'm also lean towards worlds like Selva Dorado or Granite Falls, the camping world, and yeah, I never seem to sit down and build like summer beachy vacation lots, which it's not really a thing here in the UK, but I feel like that's quite a big thing in the US anyway, and so yeah, that is exactly what I did, and I hope you guys like it. But anyway, getting on from that and talking a little bit more about the build itself and also what I'm doing right now. So you can see that I pretty much built the whole main structure for the house. I'm just coming in and placing down some little fence posts. I'm trying to figure out what front door I'm going to use. Currently, I've got this wallpaper to be a light grey. I was about to say light green then, that is definitely not green. A light grey and then a baby blue colour, but once I start coming in and adding like flower boxes to the windows and start doing a little bit of landscaping, I do decide to make it so yeah, it's like an all grey house. But when I was building this house, I wasn't really looking at anything in particular. I was just trying to make it feel like it was a house that belonged in the area of the world which is called Nantucket. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. I feel like I'm over pronunciation the nan bit because I call my grandma my nan, and so I feel like I'm saying that wrong. But if you're not familiar, Nantucket is this beautiful area in, I believe, Massachusetts. And if you was ever to go on Pinterest, Google Nantucket, you're going to find so many different beautiful coastal houses that have all these different blue and pink and purple hydrangeas. And oftentimes the wallpaper is either light grey or baby blue, and so for this house I basically just try to do that kind of thing. Now, just in case you're not familiar with Nantucket houses, or if you just can't be bothered to go on Pinterest and have a look, I will find a few different reference photos for you and I'll pop them up on the screen just so you can kind of get like a general gist of the kind of house, the kind of vibe that I was going for. But you'll notice when you look at these houses, a lot of them seem to have like trellises, loads of different overgrown rose bushes going up them, and so in this house I decided to do exactly that. But on the back porch, you might have just seen, I decided to add in that secret ladder that we got from the high school years expansion pack, which is basically a ladder which looks like it's meant to be like a normal piece of trellis. You know, it's got some sort of greenery growing up it, but you can place it down and it's kind of disguised. It's basically an easy way for if you've got teenagers in your household, they can sneak out of a night time by climbing down that ladder, but it just looks like it's meant to be a part of like the landscaping. I did try and style it out. I didn't just randomly plonk down this ladder in hopes that it kind of looks like it's meant to be there. I did try and like add in other trellis pieces around it and then kind of like dot them about the rest of the house so it kind of blends in. But yeah, it's really cool. We got it from the high school years expansion pack, and I must admit, I rarely ever use it, but yeah, teenagers or young adults, whatever you fancy, can climb down that ladder, and if they want to, they can sneak out of a night time, which for me, when I was building this house, I really tried to focus on the teenagers that might potentially come and stay here or might use it as their vacation home, because basically, to cut a very long story short, the way that this build even came about is I started reading this book recently, right? Which, if you're a book person, you're going to be like, really? You're that late to the party? But I've recently picked up, literally on Sunday, The Summer I Turned Pretty from W.H. Smith's. I'm already halfway through. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I am not a book person. Like, I am not a book girly. I wish I was, but I just really find it hard to get stuck into a book. But yeah, no, literally on Sunday I picked up this book because it was nice weather in the UK, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to go on my phone, I'm going to read. I'm going to try and be a reader. And I started reading, already halfway through. It is quite a small book, granted, but basically, if you've never heard of The Summer I Turned Pretty, it's a quite popular book series. I believe they also made it into I think it's an Amazon series now as well, but basically, it goes along the story of a teenager who goes on holiday with her mum, her brother, and she vacations with her mum's best friend and her boys. Basically, to cut a very long story short, the boys fancy her. That's not a spoiler, that's literally on the front cover. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, because if you do want to read it, I highly recommend. But yeah, it basically follows this storyline of this girl who has been visiting this summer house ever since she was little. Like, she's always vacationed here with her mum and her brother, and her mum's best friend and her boys. But when she was growing up, the boys kind of not ignored her, but didn't really give her that much attention. But this one summer she turns up and they just basically really fancy her, and it's just really fun. And just, I've been really enjoying this book. And by the way, if you're watching this thinking, hang on, I've never seen it or I've never read the book, don't worry, I haven't even finished the book myself yet. But I basically, when I was reading it, I couldn't help myself but think, I could put this in The Sims. Like, I could adapt this storyline and put it into the game. And so the approach that I had for this build was basically just taking elements of that storyline and just trying to pop it into this build. And so, yeah, that is the reason why I decided to add like a little sneak owl ladder on the back portion. I'm thinking maybe for gameplay, if your Sims wanted to sneak out of a night time and maybe pop down to the beach, because where I'm building, by the way, you might be able to notice, but the beach is literally in your back garden. This house doesn't have a swimming pool. In the books, it's like there is a swimming pool in the books, but this, we're building on a 20 by 20. I wasn't able to fit a swimming pool, but I was thinking, you've literally got the beach in your back garden. Just use that water instead of a swimming pool. But I was thinking it'd be really fun if maybe the teenagers in this house, of a night time, the front door gets locked, they're not allowed out, but over the years and over time, they kind of figured out, hang on, the trellis on the back porch, you can actually climb down, let's sneak out. And so, yeah, I could just picture the teenagers staying here, sneaking out of a night time, maybe going for a dip in the ocean, or maybe having like a barbecue on the beach or something. I just thought it was really lovely. But in terms of the inside and the way that I approached the interior style, I wanted it to look like the Sims that own this vacation home, they've got money, but it's not like fancy decorated. I tried to do it like old money coastal, if you get my drift. A good way to describe it is it's very blue, cream and beige, but then still beachy and comfortable. I tried to dot about a few different like shells here, and I tried to place down some paintings into the wall that kind of reference boats or something, because, you know, the ocean is basically your back garden. I tried to make it feel comfortable, but make it still look like the Sims that own this and that actually have this as one of their rental properties or just a vacation home. Yeah, they're quite comfortable, they're doing alright in life. But in terms of the bedrooms, now like I said, there is 4, and in the original storyline of The Summer I Turned Pretty, the book is meant to have like 6 bedrooms for each household member. But the way that I approached it into the game was, I was thinking, what about if your Sims want to come on vacation here, maybe your Sims and one of their parents, and then their parents' best mate also has a teenager, and you basically each have your own rooms. So in total, the bedrooms end up being 2 like parent, more like sophisticated bedrooms, and then we have 2 kind of teenager decorated bedrooms. I say kinda. I tried to make it feel like this vacation house, your Sims have been coming here for a while. Like in the teenager's room, in one of them, I placed down a little doll's house in the corner, but I sized it down and just put in like a little spider web, because I'm thinking, well, that was her doll's house when she was a little girl or something, but now she's a teenager, she doesn't play with dolls anymore, and so it's just still in the house, it's still in her room, but it's just tucked away in the corner, and over time it's collected some dust and it's got like a little spider web on it and stuff, and it's just all really sweet. And I'm absolutely obsessed with this house, both the outside but then also the inside as well. But you can see that I've already pretty much finished up the exterior of this house. On the exterior, where it is only a 20 by 20, I was quite limited to what I could actually place down, but I don't know, I feel like I managed to make it work. I end up placing down like a little barbecue area out there, a seating table. I also placed down a few different planters. On like the upper porch back bit, your Sims have got like beautiful views of the ocean, but you can sit down on like a really comfy looking sofa. There's a radio station. And then on the upstairs balcony, which I haven't decorated yet, but you will see me decorate it, I placed down like an art easel and a few more planters, and dotted about on the inside this house as well. I tried to focus on the actual gameplay element of it, because at the end of the day, I wanted it to actually be fun for your Sims if you did want to use it as a vacation home. And so I placed down like a piano in the lounge and chess table in a hallway and loads of different bookcases and just loads of different random bits and bobs that your Sims can actually interact with in gameplay. But either way, moving on, as you can see, I've now moved over and I've started decorating the inside, but I started off with the hallway, which then also doubles up to be the kitchen. So basically, as soon as your Sims walk in through the front door, bang, you're straight in the kitchen. But it was kind of nice. I kind of liked it. It's a little bit more snug in this kitchen, but I'm just really happy with the floor plan of this house. You might notice as well, on like the dining room area, your Sims kind of have to go up a platform. I don't know what it was, but to me it just feels like it's very coastal and very like beachy to have different levels within the inside of the house. And so yeah, you'll notice that this house does have a series of different platforms, but currently in the kitchen, as you can see, I'm placing down these kitchen counters. The ones that I ended up going for in the end were the ones that we got from the Cottage Living expansion pack, but you might have noticed I didn't really know which ones that I wanted to go for initially. I did have a moment where I was thinking, why don't we just add a little bit of colour into the kitchen? And I did debate using, you know, the Vampire game pack. We've got this counter and it comes in 3 swatches. There's kind of like a deep reddy brown and black swatch, a black and white swatch, and then this really beautiful green and cream swatch. I was debating going for the vampire counters, but in the end I thought it's not very coastal. I'll just go for the Cottage Living ones, and so I placed them down into the kitchen. Also ended up placing down a little kettle into the corner, and then also actually a little waffle maker, because I loved the idea of your Sims in the morning, in the summertime, they like to have waffles for breakfast, and so you'll notice I placed down the little waffle maker machine, and then next to it I placed down what looks to be like berries and creams and stuff right next to the waffles to make it seem like your Sims are like spicing up their waffles with them kind of condiments. But just off the kitchen we end up having the utility room. So the utility room, you can also access the outside. It's just got a washing machine and a tumble dryer, and then there is a door going into probably the smallest bathroom that I've ever decorated. It's a 3x1 tile bathroom. Literally walk in, you've got the toilet on your left, and then you've got a sink on the right, and that's it. It's a very slapdash bathroom, but I just thought it'd be handy to have a bathroom that all household members could use on the downstairs, and so yeah, there is a little bathroom. But moving over, you can see that I've now started decorating the next room, which ends up being kind of like an open plan dining room, but then also lounge room. But then saying that, is also kind of open plan to the kitchen. I just separated it using a few different columns and spandrels. But over here currently, you can see that I'm just clutching up these bookcases. I wanted to have quite a fancy, grand, like bookcase full, but initially I was going to use the ones that we got from the Crystal Creation Stuff pack, because them bookcases kind of have like a little ladder built in. But where I've put this room on a platform, you might notice the bookcase was kind of like clipping into the ceiling above, and it just was not a good look. And so I decided to use the ones that we got from the Book Nook kit. And then you might notice as well, as I kind of like angle the camera upwards, I decided to paint the ceilings in this house as well, which to me, when I was taking the screenshots, it just made it feel just so homey and just like comfortable. And it feels like this is actually some Sims vacation house that they maybe vacation to every single summer or something. I don't know, it just made it feel a lot more like homey and welcoming with having the painted ceilings. I just used the same wooden floor that I use on the actual floor as the ceilings, and yeah, I just really liked it. But also on the bookcase as well, as you might have seen, I placed down a ladder. Now, like I said, I initially wanted to use the ones that we got from the Crystal Creation Stuff pack, but they were clipping in. That bookcase, though, from that stuff pack does have a little ladder built in, and if you've got the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, if you go into the live edit menu, you can actually find a ladder, and if you've got the tool mod, you can also rotate it. And so I basically just tried to make a similar looking bookcase to the one that we got from the Crystal Creation Stuff pack, but yeah, just using a live edit ladder that we got from Cats and Dogs. But also something that I kind of wanted to touch on in terms of the wooden floor. Like I said, I painted both the ceiling and the floor itself the same wood swatch. The one that I've used is from the Jungle Adventure game pack. It's like my number one favourite wooden floor in the game, but I tried to make reference to the books. Like I said, you don't have had to have seen the series or read the books yourself to kind of follow along this build, but in the books, when they're first describing the house, the girl describes the house to have these light oak wooden floors, and they've kind of like been stained by the daylight shining in through the windows. And so coming into this build, I thought I'd use this wooden floor, because I'm thinking this looks like over time this wooden floor has potentially just kind of like lost its colour through the daylight shining in through the windows, and that's why it's a little bit lighter in some areas. And so it's a small little detail, but I did just want to mention that because it's what I was thinking when I was placing down the flooring. But either way, in the dining room, as you would have seen, I decided to go for the Cats and Dogs table and chair set. I then decided to place down some sort of like little china cabinet in the corner. The one that I've used is from the Jungle Adventure game pack. I made it into a cream colour, but I'm pretty sure I end up switching it out quite shortly to be in a white swatch. But moving on, you can see that I've now started coming in and decorating the lounge room. So in here, I feel like it looks really spacious. I feel like you've got so much room in this lounge, but it might just be the windows. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, the windows that I've used, by the way, on the left hand side, they are from the 4 Rent expansion pack. Do you know what? I've always thought it was a bit weird that we got them windows from the 4 Rent EP, because to me, it looks like it's meant to be some sort of like retail shop window, but we got them from the For Rent expansion. I'm not complaining, it's a lovely window, but initially when I was doing the exterior, I was going to use the ones that we got from the Greenhouse Haven kit. You might notice I tried to pick them out, but I then remembered that we got these ones, and yeah, I just plopped them down. They lit in so much natural daylight, and so I feel like it makes this house, or it makes this room look a little bit bigger than what it actually is. But I ended up placing down a fireplace in here that we got from the Cottage Living expansion pack. I then moved objects, a telly on top of it. It looks like a painting. It's a TV. We got it from the Modern Lux kit. Also decided to go for the sofas that we got from the Sims 4 base game, but they're an unlockable. I think your Sims unlock them when they're in the tech guru career, but one of my favourite sofas. I feel like I haven't used it in a while, but I feel like it's the perfect sofa for this. It looks comfy, but it still looks a bit sophisticated. Do you know what I mean? Because with sofas in the Sims 4, we're quite limited in terms of like 3-seater sofa options. And to be fair, love seats. We really have no sofas in this game, but I feel like these sofas, you can use them in so many different settings and so many different interiors, but where they're plain and they just come in this neutral cream colour, yeah, they kind of work for like this coastal family home. They look really comfortable, but still quite put together and quite formal. But either way as well in here, I placed down a big fluffy rug. I then also placed down the table that we got from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, but I kind of sized it down ever so slightly. I find whenever I use this one particular coffee table, I always have to size it down. It's absolutely colossal, but I love the kind of like rustic look of it, and so yeah, I decided to pop that into the middle of the room. I then also decided to place down a standing upright piano in the corner. The one that I've used though is from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, and I purposely picked that one because to me it looks a little bit more worn, it looks a little bit older. We first got the introduction of upright standing pianos from the Growing Together expansion pack, so we've got one from that DLC, but you would have seen I pulled that one out, but it just looks a little bit too prim and proper, and even though I feel like these Sims are a bit prim and proper, I didn't want it to make it look like this piano was brand new. I wanted it to look like it's maybe been here for like 10 years or something, and so I just placed down the one that we got from Horse Ranch because the wood looks like it's been weathered a little bit. It looks like it's been through it, to be honest. And then on top of it, I placed down a few different vases, a few different decorations, photo frames, just random bits and bobs. I was thinking that the teenage girl who may come on vacation here may likes to play the piano, and so yeah, I decided to pop that into the lounge room. But you can see that I've now moved over into the first bedroom, which is the room that I was personally thinking the Sims who own this vacation house, this is their bedroom. So I kind of briefly mentioned it, but I imagine the scenario that you might want to get your Sims to come on vacation here might be your Sims, maybe you've got a young teenage girl and she comes on vacation with like her mum or something, and her mum has a best friend. The best friend owns the vacation home, and this is her bedroom. She's also got a teenage boy who their bedroom is upstairs, but I was thinking that basically the Sims that own the house, this is their bedroom, and so it's quite big. It's kind of the biggest one out of all the rooms in the house, but I mean they're probably the one that's paying the bills, so I'd kind of feel bad if I didn't give them the biggest room. But in their bedroom I decided to go for a 4-poster bed that we got from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack. Also decided to make it so there is a separate chest of drawers and then one of them walk-in wardrobes that we got from the Get Together expansion pack. You know, the ones that your Sims can go in, they can try on different outfits, but if they want to they can also woohoo with Sims in them, and so I thought for gameplay it might be quite handy to have one of them in the house somewhere, and so yeah, I popped that into that bedroom. It's also the only bedroom that has its own ensuite bathroom, which I feel like is probably what makes it like the master bedroom of the house. But either way, as you can see, I've now moved on to the upstairs. I quickly just did one of the other bathrooms in this house. Like I said, there is 3.5 bathrooms. There is one ensuite downstairs, as well as that little tiny 3x1 toilet off the utility room, and then there is 2 full bathrooms upstairs. Now I was thinking, if you wanted to and you wanted to have it so maybe 3 teenagers stay in this house rather than 2, you could definitely turn one of the bathrooms into an extra teenager's bedroom. I was debating doing it myself, but then I thought, well, then on the upstairs we've got like 4 Sims and 1 bathroom. That's chaotic. I'm not going to do that to you. So I decided to make one of them into a bathroom. But if you're up for it and you fancy it, you can definitely turn one of the bathrooms into, yeah, another bedroom for a teenager. But either way, as you can see, I'm just coming in now and basically just cluttering up the hallway spaces, just trying to make them feel decorated. And, you know, I placed down a chess table for gameplay. I also placed down some suitcases by one of the front doors because I'm thinking maybe your Sims, it's the start of summer, literally, summer holidays just started. They're moving into the summer house now and they just haven't unpacked their suitcases. And so you might notice in a few of the bedrooms, I placed down some suitcases suitcases, like decoration, try and get that point across. But yeah, I also placed down some into the hallway. But I'm just coming in now. I'm basically just decorating the upstairs balcony. To be fair, it is a really small balcony, but I mean, I just tried to do the best that I could with the space that I had, and so we end up having like an art easel. We also end up having a telescope if your Sims fancy looking at the stars at night time or something. Also end up placing down a few other planters, and then also the seating area. And then of course there is also a little secret ladder, which, to be fair, if your Sims was to walk out the upstairs balcony door, the parents wouldn't really be able to see the little secret hidden ladder. It's kind of like tucked behind one of the bump outs in the roof, so you could go with the idea that the parents have absolutely no idea that that little trellis ladder is there, and yeah, the teenagers of a night time, they just sneak out. But either way, you can see that I've now moved on, and I've started decorating one of the teenagers' bedrooms. I love this bedroom so much. I decided to go for this bed that we got from the high school years expansion pack in this kind of like bluey green swatch with these little hearts in it. I don't really think I've used that bed in this swatch before, but it was just so lovely for this bedroom. But in here, there ends up being a fireplace, kind of like dead opposite where the double bed is. Now, when I was placing it down, I was a little bit in two minds of, is this actually going to work? Like, will my Sims be able to walk around the other side of the bed? And when it came around to playtesting, my Sims, unfortunately, she freaked out. She was waving around up in the air saying that she couldn't go over to the other side of the bed. And so what I did, behind where the fireplace is, there's actually the chimney breast of where the downstairs fireplace would go. I just basically pushed that fireplace into the wall. It's all still the same object, but just that fireplace is just one bump out pushed out, if that makes any sense. But yeah, the whole entire house is usable. That was really the only problem that I ran into in playtesting. But in here, as you can see, I ended up placing down that little doll's house in the corner, which I sized down, and then put a spider web on. And the furniture in that bedroom, I tried to make it seem like it was not new, and it was kind of like furniture that maybe the teenager had when she was a little girl. I was also thinking it's not actually her bedroom, but it's the bedroom that she always stays in every single summer when she comes here, so it's kind of adapted to become her room. But in the actual bedroom itself, there isn't tons of gameplay. I mean, there's like a little computer desk which I popped on a journal. I was debating placing down a laptop, but I'm thinking, she's a guest, would she really bring her laptop? Maybe she'll just bring a book and she plays the piano downstairs. She's not going to have a laptop or something. And so, yeah, so I just placed down like a little journal in her room. But then the other teenager, I tried to like beef out their room a little bit more, because I'm thinking their mum and dad, they own this house. This is actually their bedroom. So in here, as you can see, I decided to go for this bed that we got from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, but it kind of went well with the rest of the house. It was kind of like a bluey kind of bed colour, and then it looks like it's got little bits of white on it here and there, and so popped it into this room. Also ended up placing down some little like cube things that we got from the high school years expansion pack. I tried to make it look like somewhat of like a makeshift bookcase. I then cluttered them up with a few different like boxes, and I put an old telly on top of it. And then in the corner, I gave them a little computer desk area. This Sim does have a laptop, but then on top of it, you might notice, I placed down the Parenthood skateboards, but I sized them up. I'm thinking they're surfboards. This Sim is a surfer. Might also like music as well. You might notice in his bedroom, I placed down a guitar in the corner, and then on his bedside table, I placed down what's meant to be like the guitar skill book in the game, because I'm thinking maybe that Sim really likes guitar or something. But you can see that I just finished that room off, and now I've moved on into the last room in this house, which is the final parents' bedroom. So must admit, this bedroom is quite small to be the second parents' bedroom. It is the smallest bedroom in the whole entire house, but I felt like this was best suited to be the second parents' room, because this room does have a balcony, which your Sims, to be honest, they can't really do much out there. It's quite small, but your Sims can go outside from this upstairs balcony, and so out there I just placed down a little seating area. But in the bedroom itself, I placed down the double bed that we got from the Cottage Living expansion pack. Also placed down a little chest of drawers in this little like bump out in the roof line. Cluttered that up with a few different bits and bobs. But other than that, I'm going to go around the room, finish it off, and that is pretty much it. So anyway guys, I'm going to end this voiceover right here. As always, you can download this build via the gallery. My gallery ID is JessicapieYT, or you can just search for the hashtag JessicapieYT or just the hashtag Jessicapie. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, if you do like my content, then please do subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next Sims 4 speedbuilding video. Bye guys.